Okay, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Depende sa kung anong oras ninyo papanoorin ng video na to. So, today we are going to discuss about the difference of two squares. Now, pag sinabing difference, ibig sabihin yan minus. Magpa-minus kayo. Or, minus ang given. Then, two squares. When we talk about squares, tawag natin dyan ay mga perfect squares. So, paano natin malalaman yung mga perfect squares? Sa numbers, ito yung mga perfect squares na kadalasan ginagamit. So, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, and so on and so forth. Nababasa nyo naman. Hindi ko na kailangang sabihin pa. Now, paano sila naging perfect square? Nakukuha yung 1 sa pamamagitan ng 1 times 1. Si 4, 2 times 2. Si 3, 3 times 3. And so on and so forth. So, ni-square lang. So, ang tawag dyan, sa mga ni-square na number, ang sagot sa mga ni-square na number ay perfect square. Now, paano naman natin malalaman na perfect square ang isang variable? Kailangan tumingin ka dun sa isang variable. For example, x raised to 2. This is a perfect square since the exponent of x is 2. At ang 2 ay even number. So, x raised to 8 ay a perfect square din. Kasi even number siya. Lahat ng exponent na pwede mong i-divide sa 2 ay can be considered as a perfect square. Now, paano natin isosolve or paano natin kukuha yung factors ng difference of two squares? By the way, ang difference of two squares, mnemonic natin dyan ay DOTS or dots. Let's see. Okay, for this first example, x squared minus 81. First, examine muna natin kung parehong squares ito. Kitang-kita naman na minus to, so difference. So, ang exponent ng x ay 2, therefore, ito ay perfect square. How about 81? Isip tayo ng number na ito times sa sarili niya para magkaroon ng 81. And that is 9. So, 9 times 9 is 81. So, perfect square din itong 81. Since perfect square siya, ang una niyang gagawin para makuha yung factors nito, gawa kayo ng dalawang open and close parenthesis, tapos lagay nyo sa gitna, plus at saka minus. Now, what is the square root of x squared? Kanina, sinabi na natin na x. Tapos, ilalagay mo. Kung ano yung ilalagay mo dito, ilalagay mo rin dito sa kabila. Now, what is the square root of 81? 9. Kasi 9 times 9 ay 81. So, we have x plus 9 times x minus 9 equals x squared minus 81. Now, kung naaalala ninyo yung topic natin na POSADOTT, product of sum and difference of two terms, yan yung magiging factors or yan yung factors ng ating dots or difference of two squares. So, kung medyo nalilito pa, ito pa yung ibang mga examples. Ito, 64x squared minus 1. Check natin, 64. Meron ba siyang number or square root? Meron. Ang square root niya ay 8. 8 times 8 is 64. X squared, syempre, square siya, minus, then 1. Ano ang square root ng 1? Ang square root ng 1 ay 1 kasi 1 times 1 is equal to 1. Now, to answer this, gawa tayo ng dalawang open and close parenthesis. Maglagay tayo ng plus at saka minus. Pero pwede rin minus at saka plus. Depende sa inyo. Now, the square root of 64 rather is 8. Then, x squared ay x. Kung 8x nilagay nyo dyan sa first term, nalagay nyo rin siya dito. Dapat pareho. Sunod. What is the square root of 1? 1. Kung 1 nilagay nyo dyan, 1 din sa kabila. Therefore, the factors of 64x squared minus 1 is, or are, 8x plus 1 times 8x minus 1. Again, the answer, or the factors of difference of two squares ay product of sum and difference of two terms, or POSADOTT. Another example is, ito ba yung susunod talaga na example? Oo nga. Okay, so mukhang mahirap pero madali lang yan. Again, check natin kung perfect square. 25, 5 times 5, yes. A squared, check. Minus, check. 16, 4 times 4. U times U, 3 times V. So, since squares naman sila, gawa tayo ng dalawang, what do you call this one? Open and close parenthesis. Now, pwedeng minus, pwedeng plus. Depende sa atin. Pero, since kanina plus na dyan, minus naman ngayon. So, the square root of 25 is 5. Bakit? 5 times 5 is 25. The square root of a squared is a. Bakit? Kasi a times a is equal to a squared. Kung ano sinulat nyo dyan sa una, susulat nyo rin dito sa pangalawa. Next, kunin natin ang square root ng 16. 4. Bakit 4? 4 times 4 ay 16. U naman, u squared, u, at v squared ay v. So, kung ano sinulat dyan, susulat din dito. So, this is the final answer in finding the factors of 25a squared minus 16u squared v squared. Okay, yes, mabilis lang tong video na to. How about this example? Check natin, x squared ay even, yung 4 ay even din. Therefore, these are perfect squares. A while ago, sinabi na natin ang 1 ay perfect square din. And it is minus dito, kaya difference of 2 squares. Ngayon, para masagutan to, lagyan tayo ng dalawang open and close parenthesis, plus minus. Then, the square root of x squared is x, kasi x times x, x squared. Then, the square root of y raised to 4 ay y squared. Bakit naging y squared? Kasi y squared times y squared ay y raised to 4. So, kung ano yung sinulat dyan, xy squared. And then, the square root of 1 is 1. The square root of 1 is 1. So, this is the final answer in finding this one. Now, for my last example, I have this. 4 is an even number. Therefore, x raised to 4 ay perfect square. 1 is a perfect square. And difference yan, halatang halata naman. So, we're going to write this. Then, plus minus. So, x raised to 4, or the square root of x raised to 4 is x squared. Then, square root of 1 is 1. So, kung ano yung sinulat natin dyan, well, is this the final answer? Pwede, kaya lang ang problema, we can still factor this. Bakit? Kasi, this one is square, ito ay isang even number, perfect square siya. Ito, perfect square at minus 2. So, pwede ba natin itong i-factor ulit? While this term, dahil plus yung gitna niya, hindi na pwedeng i-factor. So, iba-factor pa natin ito. So, ito, again, dalawang open and close parenthesis, plus and minus. The square root of x squared is x. The square root of 1 is 1. So, the answer is, kulang pala yan. Dadagdagan pa natin. Bring down na lang natin yung unang sagot na x squared plus 1. Now, if we're going to multiply these three binomials, ang sagot ay x raised to 4 minus 1. So, that's it. Thank you for watching, and if there are any corrections sa video ko, feel free to correct me. Thank you for watching, and bye! Bye!